Welcome to Inside the Pickle Jar, a podcast where we dive into the wonderfully quirky world of neurodiversity. I'm Tonya Weaver, your friendly neighborhood relationship coach specializing in neurodiverse individuals and neurodivergent myself. From communication tips to managing those "did you really just say that" moments, every episode will share real-life stories, expert advice, and practical strategies to help you tackle obstacles and build stronger, more fulfilling connections. Listen on to Inside the Pickle Jar, where every connection matters, every pickle has its place. Welcome to Inside the Pickle Jar, a podcast where we explore the fascinating world of neurodiversity, workplace dynamics, personal relationships, and self-management. I'm Tonya Weaver, your host and relationship coach specializing in neurodiverse individuals. Today, we're going to jump into another topic that many diverse individuals grapple with: whether to disclose their neurodiversity at work. But before we get started, I want to remind our listeners that everyone's experience is unique, and there's no one-size-fits-all answer to this question. Our goal today is to provide insights and considerations to help you make the best decision for yourself. I'm not going to give you a final answer here. That would be irresponsible for me as a coach and a fellow neurodiverse individual. If you'd like to talk about your specific situation, feel free to book a coaching appointment and we can discuss what's possible for you specifically. So let's start by understanding what neurodiversity means in the context of the workplace. I've talked about this in previous episodes, what neurodiversity is, and I did a pretty deep dive on the definition. However, if you didn't or haven't listened to those episodes, just to review, neurodiversity refers to the natural variations in the human brain that affect how we think, learn, and interact with the world. This includes conditions like autism, ADHD, dyslexia, dyspraxia, synesthesia, many more. Recognizing neurodiversity in the workplace means acknowledging that these differences are not deficits, but unique strengths that can contribute to a more innovative and productive work environment. Those of us with these conditions, we do like to call them superpowers. However, neurodiverse individuals may also face challenges that neurotypical individuals do not. This can include difficulties with social interactions, sensory sensitivities, and different ways of processing information. Understanding these differences is crucial for creating an inclusive work environment. So let's talk about the potential benefits of disclosing your neurodiversity at work. And to start, it can give you access to accommodations. Disclosing can allow you to request reasonable accommodations that can help you perform your job more effectively. So what does that mean? Well, beginning with helping you get legal protections and rights through the Americans with Disabilities Act, or the ADA. In the United States, the ADA requires employers to provide reasonable accommodations to employees with disabilities, including neurodiverse conditions, as long as it does not cause undue hardship to the business. Disclosing your neurodiversity can activate these legal protections and ensure your rights are upheld. Then there are a few tailored support and resources you can look at, like flexible work hours. You can work with your employer to possibly adjust your work schedule to align with your peak productivity times, or to accommodate medical appointments, or getting and using noise-canceling headphones that will reduce sensory overload in noisy environments, and that can help you focus better. Also, providing a quiet workspace can minimize distractions and improve concentration. So why would your employer even want to do that for you? A sympathetic employer will see that these accommodations will enhance your productivity and improve your job performance. They know that an optimal work environment allows you to perform at your best. For example, having a quiet workspace can help reduce sensory distractions, leading to increased focus and productivity, and it reduces stress and anxiety. Just knowing that your needs are understood and supported can significantly reduce workplace stress and anxiety, allowing you to concentrate more on your tasks. Not only that, but keeping your neurodiversity a secret can be stressful and exhausting. Disclosing can relieve this burden and allow you to be your authentic self at work. Some things your manager and coworkers can help you with are improved communication and collaboration. Disclosing your neurodiversity can lead to better communication with your colleagues and supervisors. They can understand your preferred communication styles and work habits, which can enhance collaboration and teamwork. It can also help you get clear on their expectations. This leads to supportive relationships on your team. When your team is aware of your needs, they can offer support and understanding, fostering a more inclusive and cooperative work environment. That leads me to how disclosing may help your professional growth and development. Disclosing may give you access to training and development programs. Some employers may provide or tailor professional development opportunities to better suit your learning style and needs, helping you grow you and your career. And most importantly to me, mentorship and coaching. Disclosing can open doors to mentorship and coaching programs designed to support neurodiverse employees, providing guidance and support for career advancement. Disclosing will also help your coworkers and managers provide advocacy and raise awareness. By telling people of your diversity, you contribute to raising awareness about neurodiversity in the workplace. This can lead to broader organizational changes that benefit not only you, but also other neurodiverse employees. With as many as 2 in 10 having some form of neurodiversity, that can be a big impact for many people. That awareness can create a culture of inclusion. Your disclosure can encourage a more inclusive culture where diversity is celebrated and everyone feels valued and supported. And it can help level the playing field for everyone. Just the awareness alone can help build understanding about your needs and strengths. This can lead to more supportive and collaborative work environment. However, a reminder, it's important to note that the decision to disclose is deeply personal and should be made based on your comfort level and the specific context of your workplace. If you want to review your specific situation, again, please set up a coaching call with me to go over your options. So, what are the cons of disclosing neurodiversity? On the flip side, there are also potential drawbacks to disclosing neurodiversity. Unfortunately, there is still stigma and bias associated with neurodiversity. Disclosing may lead to misunderstandings. Despite growing awareness, there are still misconceptions about neurodiversity. Colleagues or supervisors might not fully understand what it means, leading to misunderstandings about your abilities and behavior. Even if you try to explain that it isn't a deficit, they may still see it as otherness, depending on their bias. That bias may lead to discrimination. Some individuals may unfairly judge your capabilities based on stereotypes rather than actual performance. This can manifest in subtle ways, such as being excluded from projects or not being given the same opportunities as others. That discrimination and bias may lead to social isolation, especially if colleagues are unsure how to interact with you or if they hold prejudiced views. This can affect your sense of belonging and overall job satisfaction. And then there are privacy concerns. Sharing personal information about your neurodiversity can feel invasive, especially if you're not comfortable discussing it. It's important to consider how much detail you're willing to share and with whom. and you lose control over the information. Once disclosed, you lose some ability over how that information is used or perceived. Even well-meaning colleagues might inadvertently share your disclosure with others, leading to unintended consequences. The process of disclosing can also be emotionally taxing, especially if you're met with skepticism or lack of understanding. This can affect your mental well-being and confidence. Unfortunately, in some companies, disclosing will impact your career advancement. Disclosing neurodiversity might lead to some questions about your capabilities, even if your performance is exemplary. This can affect how you're viewed in terms of promotion, leadership opportunities, and challenging assignments, as well as a bias in evaluations. Performance evaluations might be influenced by unconscious bias, where supervisors may attribute any challenges you face to your neurodiversity rather than considering other factors. And if all that happens, you are then offered limited opportunities. In some cases, disclosing might limit your opportunities for career advancement if decision makers hold biased views about neurodiverse individuals' abilities to handle certain roles or responsibility. I have faced that in my own career. There have been a number of times where I thought it was a good idea to let my manager know that I needed more feedback on expectations for performance. And when I revealed that I was on the spectrum, I received a difference in behavior towards me from my manager. And that definitely impacted my work availability, my opportunities for advancement, and how I was no longer considered competitive with my peers. So back to the control over information. Once your neurodiversity is out, you don't know who knows, and sometimes the level of support and understanding can vary widely between organizations and even within different departments of the same organization. Some workplaces might be very supportive, while others might lack the necessary resources or awareness to provide adequate accommodations. If you work for a smaller organization or one that doesn't have an established diversity and inclusion program, they may not have the resources or knowledge to support neurodiverse employees effectively. This can lead to unmet needs and increased frustration. Then you have cultural differences. Organizational culture plays a significant role in how neurodiversity is perceived and supported. In some cultures, there might be a greater emphasis on conformity, making it harder for neurodiverse individuals to feel accepted and understood. So, deciding whether to disclose your neurodiversity, it's truly a deeply personal decision. It requires careful consideration of these potential downsides. It's important to weigh benefits and drawbacks in the context of your specific workplace and personal comfort level. Seeking advice from trusted members and mentors, colleagues, or a career coach can also provide valuable perspectives to help you make an informed decision. So, given these potential drawbacks, it's crucial to assess your workplace culture and the attitudes of your colleagues and supervisors before making a decision. So, how do you decide whether to disclose your neurodiversity? Here are some steps to consider. Unfortunately, disclosing your neurodiversity can be a lose-lose scenario. Studies show 61% of all disabled employees have some sort of workplace discrimination. Things like hiring biases, pay gaps, bullying, and mistreatment. Those with neurodiverse conditions, when they share their difficulties, they often get a, "you don't look autistic," or similar response. And that only makes it harder to disclose. So, ableism is the belief that a disability makes a person inferior to or less valuable than others. And that usually leads to discrimination and exclusion. There are several forms of ableism. Hostile ableism shows up as rude treatment and bullying. Benevolent ableism can result in talent acquisition leaders limiting opportunities for participation and professional development to, quote, protect them. For example, I've had managers that kept me from promotion because I seemed like I wouldn't be equally competitive with my new peers. So they withheld information about leadership development opportunities, quote, for my own good, taking away my choice. Regardless of motivation, all forms of ableism can undermine a person's career and make people just actually feel awful. The United States Americans with Disabilities Act, or ADA, and Australia's Disability Discrimination Act in 1992 try to protect a disabled employee from overt discrimination. Things like being fired specifically because of their condition. But it does not prevent mean girl things like gossip, social exclusion, being assigned an impossible workload, or being left out of professional development and advancement opportunities. So, how can you determine whether it makes sense to disclose your condition at work? Here are some things to consider. First, get clear on your priorities. Disclosure involves many uncertainties. You can't control others' reactions and biases. Don't try to figure out how people will feel. Decide based on your own priorities and principles. Think about what you must have for your health and well being. Like, can I keep working without necessary accommodations? Is it risking my health, safety, or my energy levels? What are the career risks? Think about what's the worst that could happen if you face ableism. How does it compare to the possible risks of not getting my essential needs met? And then, what are your essential needs? What's core to your survival and to maintaining a basic quality of life? If you figure out what your essential needs are, you might can also find out alternative ways to meet them, especially if your work situation does not improve or your disclosure goes wrong. Just think through what else you can do to get support or make money that you didn't think about. Even look at different job roles in or out of your organization that have the accommodations you need. Perhaps there are additional income sources. When you're stressed, it's even harder. Reach out to a friend, a family member, or a trusted colleague that can help. There are coaches like me that also specialize in the neurodiverse and career coaching. Go to them to help you find alternative solutions you might have missed or alternative ways to view this situation. Additionally, you can really evaluate your workplace. Consider the culture and policies of your organization. Are they generally supportive of diversity and inclusion? Do they even have a track record of accommodating employees with different needs, even if they are not neurodiversity related? Another thing to consider, be sure and plan your disclosure. If you decide to disclose, plan how and when to do it. Consider who needs to know and what information you want to share. Be clear about your needs and how they can be supported. I made a couple of mistakes when I began to try and disclose my neurodiversity. Remember, the decision to disclose is not a one-time event. You can choose to disclose at any point in your career, and you can always reassess your decision as circumstances change. And now that I know so much more, I know how I could have done things better and learn a lot along the way. And I now have a very supportive manager and partner. In conclusion, the decision to disclose your neurodiversity at work is a personal one with no one right or wrong answer. It's about finding what works best for you and your unique situation. By considering the potential benefits and drawbacks, evaluating your workplace, and seeking advice, you can make an informed decision that supports your well-being and career growth. So thank you for joining me on this episode of Inside the Pickle Jar. I hope this discussion on disclosure has provided valuable insights on whether you disclose your neurodiversity at work. or even family or with your friends. There are pros and cons to this very complex decision. And if I can help coach you through it and beyond, please reach out through my website at risingtidecoaching.org. And if you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe, leave a review, and share it with others who might benefit from our discussions. You can also follow me on social media for more insights and updates. So before we wrap up, I have a quick announcement. If you're enjoying our discussion on Inside the Pickle Jar and want to stay updated with the latest insights on neurodiversity, workplace dynamics, and personal relationships, I invite you to sign up for my weekly newsletter. Each week, you'll receive exclusive content, tips, and updates straight to your inbox. I don't repeat this information on my website, so it's a one shot to get these. And it's a great way to stay connected and continue our journey together. Just head over to risingtidecoaching.org and enter your email to join our community. I look forward to sharing more with you. Until next time, stay curious and keep celebrating neurodiversity.